What's up, guys? It's Gaz. Welcome to Warframe videos. So we actually have patch notes for a mainline update today. I guess you call it a mainline update, but yeah, it's basically just Railjack revisited and a bunch of bug fixes. So we're going to be going over that. It is out on PC currently. It will most likely be out on console in the next couple of weeks. And yeah, let's go over it. I've already done a little bit of testing because, I mean, to be honest, I would probably be still sleeping right now, but there's some bozos cutting a small patch of grass outside for like the last hour, so I can't sleep. So let's get into it. I'm going to go over there's a lot of patch notes here, so we're going to go over, I've already read it all, so we're going to go over the good stuff here, courtesy of yours truly. So a lot of it will be skipped, but I will put the link in the bottom if you want to read every little line. Trust me, there's some lines you definitely want to make sure you read here, because they included the healing changes and the Vazarin nerf. So let's get into it. All right, context. A little bit of information right here. Some of the items have like a striked through on the patch notes. That means that they took feedback from the public test server that I didn't get invited to because they're not cool enough for me. And they actually changed it since we saw the information last. So keep that in mind. I might be going over that a little bit more in depth when there's a strike through it. All right. Double the Railjack's innate vacuum range and makes it a more aggressive vacuuming pull. So that's good. Also, the Sentient Anomaly is always up now, guys. The Sentient Anomaly is never, like, that similar timer, you don't need it anymore. All you need to do is you need to go to the Veil Proxima map, and I'm going to quickly just show you right here in game. Pretty much, it's going to always be active, and it will rotate between which planet or which node it's currently on. So let's take a quick look right here. You can tell which planet, or which node rather, the Sentient Anomaly is on. See, it's right here in R9 Cloud. After this half hour is done, it will move to another node. It will never not be available. So, congratulations. The Sheddy is a lot less annoying to farm now. You can get your Sentient Ephemera much easier and all that good stuff. So, that's awesome. Really, really good change right there. Also, wow, we're really zoomed in. All right, getting back to it. That's a really, really big change right there, honestly. Some of this stuff we already went over in the previous video, so they're going to basically be improving the base speed of the Railjack, but making the boosting less incentivized. That's the general gist of this stuff right here. All the damage reduction and bonuses factor is changing with the Arcwing weapons, so we're going to deal more damage to Arcwing, or to the Railjack fighters, and take less damage in return. And I did a little bit of testing. I was trying out the Imperator Vandal. This is an Imperator Vandal crit build with a multi-shot damage Toxin Ribbon. And I was not using critical focus, and it melted them pretty fast. This is a corrosive build. I don't actually remember if that's the right thing to mod for. I think it's like radiation. Radiation was the good go-to one, but you know, it killed them really fast. So I will be streaming this later today on my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/GazXpertTV. It won't be anytime soon though. It will most likely be in like 4 or 5 hours from now. So yeah, but it kills pretty fast, the Imperator Vandal. I think crit builds will be a lot more viable now. Moving on. Some inconsistent, doesn't matter. Double the Revelite crafting yield from 50 to 100. So you get a lot more Revelite from the Forge now. Triple the amount of titanium astrate you get from resource drops. I got like 214 titanium from one drop earlier. The Grenier on foot. Enemies now drop Arcwing mods, and the captains now drop Operation and Dual Stat Arcwing mods. So those rare Arcwing mods you can get from the Fomorian event, those will drop from the captains now. Alright, Omni Tool stuff. Nothing important here. Update the look of the Tactus fighters. Railjack missions now give you more credits at the end. From a Veil Proxima mission, you get 150,000 credits, depending on the node. That's a lot of credits. Alright, moving on. Changed all health. Okay, we already read over that one in the previous video. Basically, you'll get damage reduction on your shields now. Have the health and armor of all Grenier fighters. That's a big change. That's a big change. That's where crit builds will become more viable. I did test it already, and it is a thing. So I'll be trying out the Grattler. I'll be trying out the Kuvayanga. I thought the Kuvayanga will be very good, but the Imperator Vandal definitely was good, so highly recommend that one. Randomize the amount of fighters during the exterminate missions. I had like 63 fighters, I think it was, on Gaian Point, and that used to be 90 always, so already seeing the impacts of that one. Really good change right here. If you kill an enemy fighter, it instantly blows up. It's not going to take 3 seconds like it did before. Right here now. So On the public test cluster, they made it where the shield regen delay on the Railjack was 3 seconds, and they said that's too easy, so they're going back to 5 seconds. So 5 seconds still, it basically didn't change from before. Railjack weapons heat buildup changes. It's basically a buff across the board, so you can fire the weapons for longer. They buffed the Melody multi-missile, which is the non-homing missile launcher, which is total trash. Reload speed increased to 2 seconds, so you can spam it pretty much. And projectile speed's much faster, so good change there. Increase the pulsar damage of the weapons. Pretty good stuff there. Pretty big base damage increase at Mark III. The Mark III one's the only one that matter. And they also increased the Zekti version even higher. Reduce the health of all on-foot Grineer Railjack enemies by half. So, rest in peace, Exo Goose Drag officers and Simulacrum. They also deal less damage to us. So, basically, we're going full Teletubby mode for the new players. Everything's going to be a lot easier in Railjack. So, you just need to mod your weapon somewhat competently, not actually correctly. Pacing changes. Okay, so this is actually a pretty big deal. They made it so you can only have one of each of these hazards on your ship at a time. But for me playing just for like a couple seconds, these are a lot more impactful now. Like I had a hull breach, it reduces your health by a lot. I think it was like a 75% health decrease when I had the one hull breach active. Now it felt a lot more impactful because it took all my mods off of my Railjack when I played that mission. But yeah, it seemed like it was very major, that one hull breach that I had there. So be aware of that one. I was thinking they might not, the engineer wouldn't be important anymore, but they really increased the power of those hazards. See right here, made each Railjack hazard even more harmful to the Railjack based on its public test results. Yeah, it's like a 75% health reduction from one hull breach. You can only have one hull breach anyway. Reduce the Railjack speed and damage when Railjack is in catastrophic. Okay, so yeah, that's also another thing. You actually move really slow in catastrophic failure. It's like a gigantic nerf to the playstyle of Last Stand. Last Stand is basically just complete garbage now. You move really slow. You also deal less damage, so don't use Last Stand anymore. It used to be meta for a little bit, but yeah, not anymore at all. Increase the number of fighters at all alert stages. Missions should go faster because of that. Increased XP from doing these hazards. Railjack enemies spawn closer. Good stuff there. Destroying all engines on the cruise ship disables their weapons, and destroying all engines on the cruise ship kills half of their crew. I have not tested if you get the XP and intrinsics from that, but that sounds like it could be really, really fun, honestly. You kill their engines, and half the crew blows up. Alright, Arcane changes and fix. I'm trying to just breeze through these. Like, there's a lot of just, like, useless lines of text in here, because there's a lot of stuff to go over. Okay, long-standing issue. They basically did a lot more changes to Arcane Melee. Increased the magnetism and stuff. It's still complete garbage. Arcane Melee is still going to suck, and it's going to give you a headache if you're using it. So I would not recommend it. Just use the guns instead. Systematic changes. We have the Valiant Fusion for Arcane, or for Railjack stuff now, and they actually made it where you don't have to have it built. So you can have an unbuilt piece to fuse into the other one, and let's go over the little nitty-gritty details here because that will be important. Requires Direct to perform a Valiance Fusion. Occurs for built armaments and components. Requires resources and credits if Valiance Fusion. Okay, so if you don't have it built, you need to put some resources in the Valiance Fusion as well. But I believe it will not be. It will be 40% resource cost. Okay, so you don't need to build all these extra ones. That's good. But if you already have them built because maybe you over-prepared because you were that bored, they're not going to penalize you for that. You actually are just going to have to use Direct for that infusion. So yeah, you will need to use resources for a wreckage going into a fully built, but it will only be 40% of the cost. So that's great. Combining matching tiers gives 10% stat boost. So if you put a Mark III into a Mark III, 10% boost. If you combine a lower tier to 5% boost, and so if you have a Mark III, if you have a Mark II into a Mark III, 5% boost. And if you have a Mark I into a Mark III, it's a 2% boost. So you're going to definitely want to do Mark III and a Mark III to get the most time effective. But maybe a Mark I and Mark II, like someone will have to work out the math how fast you get these to drop. You can only Valiance Fusion the same house and type of armaments and components across all Mark IIIs, much like Kuva weapons. All Sigma equipment cannot be upgraded. So you can only do like Zekti into Zekti, Lavan to Lavan, Vidar into Vidar. So that makes sense. Intrinsics double the affinity to intrinsic point conversion. Just it's double the speed, and increase the affinity of killing elite fighters and outriders. So Gaian point gonna be real good because they still haven't given you guaranteed intrinsics for completing the asteroid commander and stuff, which is my recommendation months ago. They haven't done that. That would be a really good change, but just listen to the random bozos in the test cluster, not me. Okay, Avionics Changes. Okay, basically they simplified it. Each integrated avionic will now have one single manufacturer rather than 3 manufacturers, and that means there won't be 3 versions. Good. I actually really like that change. I know that kind of hurt some build diversity, but man, was it annoying to keep track of which one was the good one. Okay, Consolidated Avionics now have their avionic capacity altered so that on average the integrated avionics consume 20% less. So they actually adjusted the cost of some of these to make it so they can fit on the builds better. To see exactly how that works, I have not really checked out yet, to be honest. We will check that out later on twitch.tv/gaz_ttv. Make sure you check it out. Shameless plug in my own video. Retired integrated avionics will be removed from the player's inventory. All Dirac used to upgrade integrated avionics will be refunded. Okay. And so you need to reapply your mods to your Railjack, guys. Like I showed earlier, I loaded into that mission, it unequipped all my mods. So you need to redo your builds. Okay, I'll try to get a video on some good builds for the Railjack next couple of days here. Battle Avionics Refresh. Munitions Vortex was nerfed in the public test cluster. It's been reverted. It's back to how it was before the nerf. So hooray. But it also has new visual effects. So that's pretty cool. Munitions Vortex will be really good for nuking stuff most likely. But they did buff a lot of the other stuff. So maybe you'll be considering some other things as well. Countermeasures. I don't actually have countermeasures. I should have bought this last night actually. Initial use cost of 5 flux energy. Doubled cost if used again within 4 seconds of up to a cap of 40 energy. I don't even know what this one does. If you know what this one does, let me know in the comments. I think it's just some damage or something like that. Blackout Pulse displayed range stat on all marked targets while projectile is in flight. This increased the radius, doubled the radius, and doubled the damage. Now, Blackout Pulse sounds like it would be really cool, but I've been told this one's trash. I will test that out later today. It sounds cool. It looks cool. We'll see. Particle Ram requires forward velocity to be active. Increase the projectile speed when it's launched. I never even launched that thing, to be honest. Increase the length of projectile so target stays within the damage field as long as they did before the slower projectile. 50% more damage during vector maneuver, 100% more damage while launching the particle ram. Now accept energy colors. Hooray! It's not just orange. I'm pretty sure this one got nerfed pretty hard, from what I've been told. But, hey, it takes energy colors now. What's the worst that could happen? Shatter Burst. Display the range stat on all marked targets while projectile is in flight. Range increased to 200. Damage doubled. Radius increased. Fall off decreased by half. I heard that Shatter Burst is pretty good, so I'm going to be trying that one out later today. It was pretty fun last night to try it out, with its, crappy stats. Void Hole is going to stay nerfed. 12-second duration, basically half the duration it used to have, but it has a much more aggressive pull-in, strength. And I did use that briefly earlier today. It is a lot more aggressive pull-in, but yeah, the duration is much lower. Fiery Phoenix still going to be complete garbage. They reduced the energy cost, though. Hooray. Fiery Phoenix is absolute trash. Hey, why can't that one take energy colors? I want to have purple fire. Seeker Volley, damage increased heavily. Critical chance doubled. And much higher projectile speed. This will probably still suck in the Veil, but I will try that out later today. I would love to be wrong on that one. I like Seeker Volley, but it was very, very weak against Veil enemies. But then again, they got their health and armor halved, so this could potentially be good now for higher level Railjack missions. So, remains to be seen. Has potential. Double crit chance. Okay, tactical fire suppression. This thing used to heal 4 fires at once, but now you can only have 1 fire at a time. So they changed it where it will heal the 1 fire, but leveling it up gives you a reduced cooldown. Some new avionics, aka new mods for your Railjack. Deep Hold. Increase the forge capacity by 60%. Cruising speed Zekti. Increased speed by 80% when no enemies are within 3,000 meters. Why within 3,000 meters? Okay. Sure. Decreased quick look. Decreased ordnance lock-on time by 75%. Okay, might be okay, decent for the homing missile. I like this one a lot. Artillery cheap shot. Forward artillery, basically the big death cannon that is not really that great, has a 50% chance to not consume the dome charges. It actually chews through ammo a lot of the time, so this will probably be a staple mod if you're actually using the forward artillery. Ordnance cheap shot, same thing as the other one. 50% chance your missile launcher will not consume munitions. That one's not as important because you have like 20 plus missiles, but still, could be nice if you got space in the build. Now this one seems like it was just straight up amazing. Turret velocity Vidar. This is most likely going to be a staple mod. Increased turret range by 25.3. So that will make the laser guns on the, I think it's called the Photor. That will increase range by 25%. It also increases turret projectile speed by 55%. So that means that the Carsonox, the APOC, 55% increased projectile speed, going to make it even closer to hit scan, which is nice, at least in my opinion. It doesn't increase your damage, but it increases convenience heavily. Alright, I don't care about Arcwing melee stats getting revised. Basically, the Prisma Veritrux seems like it will be really good. But they increased the base damage a lot of these too, so, we'll see if they're actually good. Probably not. So some changes here. The Grattler is going to have proximity detonation now. I think they're trying to push the Grattler to be good, so that would be nice. Imperator Vandal increased accuracy. I'll use that briefly at the beginning of the video. Larkspur reduced the collision size of Larkspur's alt fire. Why are you going to kick the Larkspur wall down like that? The Larkspur sucks in Railjack. Lots of big buffs to the Velocitus. Velocitus might be pretty good. So maybe keep an eye on that one. Some heavy buffs here. Corvus, minimal fall off, increased from 175 to 440, blah blah blah. Kuvayanga, fall off, minimum damage increased. Dude, the grenade launcher in space, I'm not going to use that. It was total trash last time I tried it. But I will be trying a lot of stuff out today, to be honest. So keep an eye on that Twitch channel. Lots of Railjack fixes here. So these are mostly bug fixes, guys. I am going to go ahead and skip most of these. And we're going to get onto some of the more juice down here. So they're adding the healing changes that we went over in the Vazarin is Ruin video. And they are not changing it. They are keeping Vazarin crappy. Or not keeping it crappy. Apparently this is how it's going to work on, we can go this, while we're talking about this, I'm going to go to the simulacrum and we're going to test it out. They changed it where Vazarin's only going to do 500 total healing, 2 objectives, from dashing through it. So it got heavily mega nerfed. So, rest in peace, all that focus. Rest in peace, defense cheese. So we're gonna go to Naros. We're gonna drain all of our health on Naros, and we're gonna go to the simulacrum real quick. I'm gonna keep going over this. We're gonna make sure that it's still working properly on frames. But yeah, they basically didn't change anything from the previous dev workshop we went over. Harrow might still be extremely good for healing objectives. Garuda still doesn't work. Inaro still heals things, don't forget about that. And they're basically all capped at 500. The game is destabilizing in front of me. Yeah, most of this got... Hey, look, guys, Arcane Pulse. That one guy who's insisting Arcane Pulse is good. Hey, look, man, your 15-second cooldown, 150 heal. Look at how good it is. It's really good, isn't it? All right, let's go ahead and drain my health on Inaros. All right, I've lost about... I just lost like 4,000 health on Inaros. Here's the moment of truth. Is Vazarin going to still work properly on frames? Kind of hard to see, sorry. Alright, you still got the invincibility and the healing. Alright, it's fine. It's fine. It's just not as good against objectives. It still works properly on frames. You can put the pitchforks down for like 20 minutes, alright? Until we get to the stuff at the bottom. I'm just kidding. There's not that crazy of nerfs in here. Alright, damage reduction also works on the objectives as well. Most of it, all of it's capped at 50%, actually. Conclave mods converted to PvE, so this is preparation for the Night Wave that will be coming out either on Sunday or Tuesday. I'm assuming on Tuesday. That's what apparently Sheldon said it's coming on Tuesday. So Rumbler augment for Atlas. He's going to turn to a Rumbler. Get shield that absorbs up to 300% of his max health. Prism Guard for Mirage. You're going to use your 4th ability, the Disco Ball with Mirage, but instead of you throwing it out, it's actually going to be latched onto you, so you can walk around as like a mini Revenant on Mirage. Unfortunately, it's going to only last for 4 seconds, but hey, duration can be modded, so you will become mini Revenant with Mirage. Kind of funny. Probably not very good, but funny. Purifying Flames for Ember. Allies hit by the extending ring will have 4 seconds of status immunity. Ember is a support now. If you look at it like this, Ember is a better support than Harrow. With all these augments, she can do status immunity, she can heal, she can do energy orbs, she can reduce enemy armor with fire procs. She's probably got other stuff. She got damage reduction from that other augment. Support Ember. Video coming kind of soon, probably. So, support Ember is a thing with all these augment mods and her terrible abilities. So, yeah. She's a bad DPS in most cases, in my opinion, compared to Saren and stuff. But hey, she's a support now. Congratulations, Ember. You finally did it. Power of 3 for Ivara. Quiver fires 3 arrows and consumes 20 more energy. That sounds fun. That sounds like a big AoE increase on your sleep arrow, because you'll fire 3 sleep arrows at once, apparently. Much bigger cloaking arrow area. Lots of good stuff there, so I'm interested to try these out. I'm not going to play Conclave, because screw that, so we'll wait until it comes in the Nightwave store. Deceptive Bond for Loki. 50% damage taken by Loki is transferred to the decoy and vice versa. So here's a strat for Loki, guys. Tank Loki build. So of course you'll be invisible with Loki, so it's just kind of just like a joke. You place the Loki decoy down in some spot that no enemy's ever going to see. 50% of the damage you take will go to the decoy. It's like 50% damage reduction on Loki. Oh my god, it's so OP. But yeah, realistically, this is just a joke mod that, you know, maybe some people will like it. Because, you know, you can look at your Loki fashion frame, and maybe he'll be pretty tanky. Singularity for Nyx, for her 4. Creates a ring every 3 seconds that drags enemies into your assimilate at 50 meters per second. I mean, there's this thing called Magus Anomaly. Much better than that, but hey, you know. At least it exists. That's gonna take up a mod slot, though, so yikes. I guess you don't need too many mod slots for Nyx. So, you know, maybe. Recharge Barrier for Volt. Electric Shield Augment. Allies that pass through your shield have 35% of their shields restored. That might be pretty good for shield gating. Purging Slash for Excalibur. Allies in the path of Slash Dash have 4 debuffs removed and 100% shields restored. Oh. 100% shields restored. That might be really good at shield gating. For, like, you know, just general gameplay. So, interesting Excalibur mod right there. Debuffs removed, 100% shields restored by slash dashing through them. I'd say as far as these ones, Purifying Flames for Ember, the Rumbler one, maybe the Mirage one, and the Power of 3 for Ivara. Yo, where is that? There's a Proximity Mine mod for Nova that turns your 2 into a Proximity Mine. Where is that? I want that really badly. Moving on here, we've got the Rubico, minus 50% zoom. Okay. They better not take a lot of mod spots, or mod capacity. Brainstorm with the Gurkata. On headshot, 100% ammo efficiency for 1 second. So it sounds like if you just get a headshot with the Gurkata, infinite ammo for 1 second. Could potentially be really good. As long as you get headshots all the time, which you should be because you're an MLG gamer. Directed Convergence for the Supra. 100% accuracy while aiming. Whatever. Focus Acceleration for the Tetra. While aiming, 80% of projectile speed. Projectile speed's important on the Tetra because that thing is slow as balls. Shrapnel round to the Marelock. Plus 200% multi-shot. Minus 66% damage. Maybe that would work out better. Skull Shot for the Viper on headshot. 100% ammo efficiency for 2 seconds. Singular Viper. Infinite ammo. Double tap for the Latron on hit. 20% bonus damage on next hit for 2 seconds. Yo, 20% bonus damage. Oh my god. Synoid Simulor, big changes. We have so the Simulor got some really, these are annoying to read over, but basically, the Simulor got some big buffs. So, good for that. If you want to read this in depth, go over it here. I don't want this video to be like 3 hours long. Buffs to the Synoid Simulor. Hooray, hooray, hooray. Mirage, enjoy breaking people's eyeballs. Kuvelich fixes. No mention of the stealth nerf to all abilities versus liches. Besides that 1 10-second clip of Steve passively mentioning it. Justice for Revenant. Justice for Revenant. Everyone got nerfed, though, to be honest. Any of this stuff actually matter? Oh yeah, here's a big one. Fix the Kuva Brahma. This is a Kuva Lich fixes for some reason. Fix the Kuva Brahma projectiles not getting pulled in the mags magnetize and bouncing off into the sky. Instead of, they called it yeeting into the sky. So people were like, they just nerfed that on purpose. They made it not work on purpose. It was a bug, apparent according to DE. Okay, so Brahma and mag work together now. So good stuff. Maybe we can quickly try that out while we're going over these patch notes. Moving on here. Mag and the Brahma. I can't resist. I need to try this real fast. Brahma. Alright. The bubble's the 2, right? Sorry if it's really loud outside. Like I said, these bozos have been cutting the grass for like an hour and a half. Alright. I swear, they added this stuff to the freaking simulacrum, and I have to switch my graphics settings every time I come here. Alright. Let's get like a gunner or something. These guys are actual babies nowadays for like the weapons I'm using, but you know, let's try it out. Bubble. And here you go. Hey, it works now. Good stuff. It used to just fly into orbit. So hey, like they actually changed it. Good stuff, DE. I like those kind of changes. Sometimes the Kuva Lich that you converted would kill you. That got fixed. Good stuff. Okay. Most of this other stuff is like just UI changes. So if you want to like actually check this stuff out, go ahead in the description. We're going to move past this. Just quality of life. This is a big one right here. Added Riven compatible items to Riven mod unveiling screen when unveiling or reviewing a Riven via trade chat. Thank God. So if you see a Cronin Riven in trade chat, make sure you click on it before you buy it, because it will actually, if you didn't know this, Cronin Rivens are weaker on the Cronin Prime. So if you click on it in trade chat and it's like, yo, 100% attack speed, oh my god, that's so powerful. I'm going to buy that right now. That's for the normal Cronin. The Cronin Prime will have lower attack speed, so keep that in mind. That's a great change, should have been in there for a while, but hey, it's here now. Can't really complain too much about it. Okay. All this other stuff, not super important. Titania now has a custom dodge roll animation. We're going to go ahead and display that here because we're on the simulacrum. You know how it is. Titania Prime, the Butterfly of Doom. Custom rolling animation for Titania Prime. Of course, this will not work in other frames. Yo, that looks pretty cool. Let's do a backflip. Okay. I mean, that looks like a really goofy backflip. But, you know, it looks cooler for sure. It's like Wisp. So, nice stuff there. Let's see what else got. Okay, they buffed the stash chance of the Twin Kakatas. Someone was calling me like, Kaz, they didn't nerf it. That's just how multi-shot works. They actually did nerf it, jerk. And they buffed up the stash chance of the Twin Kakatas, so hooray. You can now get rid of the 10x syndicate thingy. That doesn't matter. You could instantly remove Helminth Sis for after 1 day instead of having to wait an entire week. Good change right there. It actually was really annoying for Fashion Frame to have to wait an entire week for that. Most of this stuff not extremely important. I think there was a mini Limbo nerf in here. I'm not even kidding. Here it is. Here's the mini Limbo nerf. Now, I mean, it was a bug fix. Let's be real. Okay, so fix Exodia Contagion projectiles going through the rift. It's in fixes, by the way. This isn't in changes. Just point that out. So Exodia Contagion, the grenade toss, you could actually use that through the rift with Limbo and damage stuff outside the rift. And read this. This is pretty. I actually laughed at this when I first read it. This allowed Limbo to attack from a position of invulnerability, where enemy normally damage cannot cross the rift unless it's a Warframe ability. We intentionally did not fix this until after the Scarlet Spear event, but it is a bug. So we scared the crap out of them with like all like the crazy like uproar about Limbo getting nerfed. So they're like, we're not okay. Don't fix that one until the Scarlet Spear is over. So that is actually removed, and you need to be Mesa or like a DPS frame to damage through the rift now. The rest of this other stuff is not really important. Like the only actual nerf hidden in the fixes is the Exodia Contagion one from when I saw, and the rest of this is like actual bug fixes. There might be like one or two that I missed here, but man, that's a lot of lines, isn't it? That's a lot of lines to read. So if you want to go over all of them, go be my guest, and that is basically it. So I hope that you guys found this helpful. It's a pretty long video, but hey, there's a lot of stuff here. And like I said, we didn't even go over most of it. Like all this UI stuff, I'm not reading that. That's like just quality of life. At least it's in the patch notes, okay? So the biggest thing that we didn't really go over is the Synoid Simulor changes. The damage is extremely highly increased. Was it 75 to 240? That's like a triple. That's tripling the damage, at least. So potentially could be powerful there. We will keep our eyes peeled. I might have to rebuild it or rebuy it. So yeah, there will be streams later today. If you want to watch my stream replay from yesterday, did like a 3-hour survival. Had a post. There will be a lot of videos coming out next week, guys. Got some good ideas for videos. Post-mortem discussion on the Scarlet Spear. Kuva Survival Good Stuff Guide. And some other stuff too. CO Proccers. All that good stuff. So keep an eye out on the channel. Not doing daily uploads anymore, but going to try to keep it consistent at least. So I'll talk to you guys next time. Hopefully you had some fun watching this. Enjoy the update. If you are someone that wants to play Railjack, we'll see if I'm that kind of person. And yeah, talk to you guys next time. Peace.